outlandish claims, and I need to make them absolutely clear about what they're saying, just in case I missed it or got it wrong, or you may have missed it. We have to get them to clarify it, and sometimes you've got to interrupt them, and sometimes you've got to keep them on point. Otherwise, a conversation, if you were doing some people are naturally gifted, and they keep the conversation on point. I'm talking about guests. Let's leave me out of this, because I'm no great judge of my abilities, whatever they may be. Who knows? But guests sometimes will keep completely on point, and they'll stay on message, and sometimes they will veer off on different paths. And for it to be a continuous narrative, that can be a problem sometimes, so that's why we do that. So I hope that's sort of dealt with. Garnet Schulhauser, previous guest, case in point. He was making some pretty outlandish claims. Quite a few of you didn't agree with them. Quite a few of you suggested that he might need to get himself checked out one way and another. Now, we went through all of that in the interview, if you listened to it, and I know some of you turned him off. And I asked him, are you sure of your own mental health when you claim that somebody from the other side, in the guise of a tramp, appeared to you and revealed various truths? This man had been a lawyer at the highest level, a corporate lawyer, and sounded pretty rational to me. Had the full backing of a loving family by the sounds of it. Is what he's saying completely correct? Is it all true? I don't know. But I think it was worth putting out there, and a few of you requested him. And we don't always put scientists and serious, people qualified in their fields here on The Unexplained. Sometimes we put people on who have a story to tell, and the story may be correct, or it may be a story that you want to ponder over, or you may instantly dismiss it. And let me tell you, the email reflects all of those positions. That's why we had Garnet Schulhauser on, and I think even though he was controversial and what he was saying was outlandish, if I had to make the decision again, I would probably put him on here. This time round, we're on, well, maybe ground that you will more easily agree with. Linda Moulton Howe from earthfiles.com, coming soon. If you'd like to make a donation to this show, that would be gratefully received. Donations tailing off again, and we do need them to keep going here. So go to the website, theunexplained.tv, follow the link, and you can do that if you can, and if you have recently, my deepest thanks for that. Same place to go, theunexplained.tv, if you want to send me an email, a message, a suggestion, whatever. Let's get to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Let me turn on the fan just for a second here to cool down, and let's get on Linda Moulton Howe from earthfiles.com. Oh, Linda, how nice to have you back on here, Linda.
Well, it's great to be with you, Howard. You're one of my favorite voices on this planet.
You too. You're a voice of sanity, and what you are is a voice of rigor in a world where nobody really bothers to check anything anymore.
Boy, isn't it becoming a big problem? And I keep cautioning some of my colleagues that the internet is now such a mixture of people trying to make money from clicks, and therefore they will put up any headline to get clicks because they're trying to generate money, and it has absolutely nothing to do with journalism. It doesn't have anything to do with facts, and that puts a burden on me, you, George Knapp, anybody who is trying to do actual hard-based factual journalism, because now if we get something that looks serious, we literally have to try to track down the author, the source, or at least that's what I'm doing. And Howard, in just the last couple of months, without going into names or the problems of litigation or anything, but this is a process that I have done and found on the other end, zero. And just to give you an example, I was sent an internet news story. It looked like it was absolutely legitimate, and I believe the source was a Canadian. It was like a Canadian Calgary or something. And it was so astounding that I sat there thinking, if this is true, it had to do with archaeology, it had to do with finding extraterrestrial bodies, all of this. I thought this is way over the top. So I spent 2 full days off and on trying to find the author. Normally and I hope your listeners will value this, when you look at CNN and Fox and MSNBC and ABC, CBS and the BBC and the Guardian, it'll always say correspondent or reported by and a date. any of those major media organizations my phone and you ask for that reporter, 99.5% of the time, you should at least have a switchboard or somebody who they react, and that person, just a moment, and you know that they're working there. When I spent 2 days trying to track down the author of this very strange Canadian report, I finally got a hold of a person. And I said, I wondered if you could please give me the date, the location, and what the source of the information on your story is. And Howard, it was a female, and she had no answers for me on those basic questions. And she said, I'll have to get back to you on that. And I said, right, these are all the red flags, and I've only taken time to tell you this because we are now at a point where we have to do this on almost every story that is not from what we'll call the recognized BBC, Guardian, New York Times, and so forth. And this is a big problem for the planet because when we realize that people are trying to make money and they're doing it on sensational headlines, when we do have something sensational to report based on facts, it's going to be even that more difficult.
So if I was a conspiracy theorist, and heaven forbid, would I be a conspiracy theorist, I would say that maybe there is somebody out there planning some of this. So if you put enough smoke out there and you install a few mirrors, then you can probably obfuscate enough to stop any truth there may be getting out there.
Yes, and that was actually, this is an issue that has been raised in the Jaime Maussan event down in Mexico City on Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, 2015. That was, just in a nutshell, that was the story about two Kodachrome color slides that Kodak had confirmed were 1947-ish vintage, and they had been found in the possessions of a woman, a family who had all passed, and these two strange Kodachrome slides were found with what looked like a very strange body, and people back east and all over the United States, I'm not going to get into personalities, I'm just going to say that this was reported to some researchers about, I think by now, a year ago. And then little bits of news started filtering out without anything to back it up, but just that Roswell, New Mexico, July 1947, extraterrestrial or extraterrestrials are on these color Kodachrome slides. And the next thing we learned is that Jaime Maussan, who is a well-meaning guy in Mexico City, has been working there now for 30-some years in television and has his own company now and does reports largely on things that would be in the high strangeness category. And the next thing I know, I get a news release along with a lot of other people saying that Jaime Maussan was going to present these slides in Mexico City on Cinco de Mayo to move the Roswell crash further, that it was definite and these were extraterrestrial bodies and the world would have the first chance to look at them. And I interviewed Jaime in February, and he told me then that he was working with a forensic, basically an anatomist, and a pathologist,